Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Özgül Altay. I am a PhD student at the Ege University Food Engineering Department. Today, I will present our study title, Hot Air Drying as a Pre-Treatment Strategy to Enhance the Physical and Nutritional Quality of Puff-Dried Sultana Grapes. So, I would like to start with a brief introduction to topic. In developed countries, people are getting busier because of the fast pace of the life. As a result, they have less time to cook. But at the same time, the demand for the healthy food is increasing. With technological development, the variety of the ready-to-consume food has also expanded. Snack-type foods are an important part this category. These include chips, biscuits, nuts, and similar products that are easy to carry, ready to eat, and have a long shelf life. Most snack products on the market are high in the fat and sugar and have low nutritional value. Ready-to-eat fruit chips are one of the fastest growing snack categories. With today's fast-paced lifestyle, these products have become popular. Drying is the one of the most common methods used in the snack production. Today, many drying technologies are used, such as sun drying, hot air drying, freeze drying, microwave drying, and puff drying. Explosive puff drying works by exposing the product to high pressure and the temperature. This loosens the structure, and then moisture is removed very quick under the vacuum. In this way, a large amount of water is taken out in a short time, and a porous structure is formed. As a result, the product becomes crispy and light, and its rehydration capacity improves. Because drying happens at a very low temperature, the nutritional value and bioactive compounds are mostly preserved. At the same time, the sudden pressure change helps create a desired texture of snack products. The initial moisture content is very important for puff drying because it affects how much steam is produced during the expansion. So for effective puffing, the product needs to have a relatively low moisture levels. As we know, fresh fruits usually contain high moisture content. So pre-drying methods such as hot air drying, microwave drying, or freeze drying are needed before the puff drying. These steps helps achieve the better texture. Actually, explosive puff drying is usually not used alone. It's generally applied as a combined drying and texturizing process. Hot air drying is one of the oldest drying methods, but it's still widely used today. In this method, moisture is removed from the food by a continuous flow of heated air. Factors such as the water content and its composition and the humidity of the air and the air velocity and temperature all play important roles in the drying processes. Many systems like dry drying, cabin drying, tunnel drying, and fluidized bed drying are based on this principle. Hot air drying was developed as an alternative to the traditional sun drying. Its advantages include lower microbial contamination, less loss of components, and shorter drying times. But it has low operating and energy cost. Hot air drying also has disadvantages compared with more advanced techniques, such as quality loss and longer drying periods. The purpose of this study was to produce puff-dried grape snacks with desirable quality characteristics, including the high crispness, moderate expansion, acceptable antioxidant retention, and favorable color properties. In the study, fresh grapes were first pre-dried at 3 different temperatures and to 3 different moisture levels. After the pre-drying steps, all samples were dried using the explosive puff drying. Finally, the samples were analyzed on moisture content, water activity, expansion ratio, bulk density, Browning index, total phenolic content, antioxidant capacity, specific moisture expansion rate, and texture profile analysis. When we look at the table 1, we see that grapes pre-dried at the 50 degrees Celsius to 70% and 65% moisture have higher water activity and the moisture levels. This is probably because a sugary and dried outer layer forms on the surface, creating a shell-like structure. On the other hand, grapes pre-dried at the 50 degrees Celsius to 60% moisture content show the opposite trend. They have the lowest thickness, water activity, and the moisture content. This is likely due to a longer drying time needed to reach 60%, which allows the more water to be removed. When we examine the specific moisture expansion rate, which are based on the energy consumption, the results are as expected. And this value increased with the higher temperature for the all targeted moisture levels. When we look at the table 2, we see that water activity, moisture content, bulk density, expansion ratio, hardness, adhesiveness, crispness, and specific moisture expansion rate values all significantly affected by temperature, pre-drying moisture content, and by the interaction between these two parameters. And figure 1 shows that prolonged exposure to the heat during the hot air pre-drying results in a reduction in phenolic compounds and antioxidant activity, as both are highly temperature sensitive. The decline observed at lower pre-drying temperature, despite reaching the same targeted moisture level, can be attributed to the longer drying duration required, which increase the thermal degradation. Consistently, table 3 confirms that temperature, moisture content, and their interaction have significantly effects on both total phenolic content and the antioxidant activity. The Browning index is a key, as we know, the Browning index is a key quality properties for the snack products. As shown in table 4, when samples with the same targeted moisture content are compared, lower pre-drying temperature results in the reduced Browning index value. However, when moisture content varied at a constant temperature, no consistent increasing or decreasing trend in the Browning index was observed. Furthermore, the multivariate statistical analysis presented in the table 5 shows that all color parameters are significantly influenced by the temperature, pre-drying moisture content, and the interaction between these two factors. In conclusion, this study shows that combining hot air drying with explosion puff drying is a promising method for the producing the healthier fruit by snack products. Among these, the tested conditions, pre-drying at the 60% degrees Celsius and the 60% moisture content yield the best overall quality, including the high crispness, moderate expansion, acceptable antioxidant retention, and the favorable color qualities. The reduced water activity and the improved texture at this condition enhance the product stability, while the moderate temperature helps preserve phenolic and antioxidant activity. Statistical analysis further confirm that temperature, moisture content, and their interaction significantly influence most quality properties. Overall, the findings highlight that the importance of optimizing pre-drying conditions and support the use of hot air pre-drying as an effective pre-treatment in the explosive puff drying. Future work may focus on energy efficient or hybrid drying methods to further improve the product quality. And thank you for your attention. You're welcome.
It was a really nice presentation and well detailed with a lot of measurements, as I see. My question for the audience first, is there any comment or question for the presenter? If not, I have only one question. Do you have any plan to do this or follow this scientific work with other drying technology?
Yeah.
And which one, if you are
actually, this study is some part of this our work, and we actually used freeze drying or microwave drying and combined these different pre-drying methods. But of course, a hybrid drying is the best. You're welcome.
Also for the time management. Thank you very much. And I would like to ask the next presenter, Etsenas Gülen, if I pronounce well your name. Please come. My colleague will help you. Time. I have a good news. One of our presenters are here. He was missing from the previous part. Peter Palotas is here, and later on he will be able to show the presentation, so we don't have to worry about this.
Yes. Which one is it? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Stage is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Ejanas. I am a master's student at Ege University. Today I would like to share with you the results of our study on how UVB light used in refrigerator crisper compartments affects the quality and shelf life of fresh produce. The content of this presentation includes 6 main parts. Fruits and vegetables are considered functional foods because they contain water, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and important phytochemicals. These compounds like phenolics, flavonoids, and carotenoids not only provide nutrition but also have strong antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial effects that support human health. Phenolic compounds are metabolites found in plants containing one or more phenol rings. They give plants their taste, color, and aroma and help protect them from environmental stress. For human health, their strong antioxidant properties neutralize free radicals, protect cells and DNA, slow aging, reduce inflammation, and provide defense against harmful microbes. Fruits and vegetables remain biologically active after harvest, so processes like respiration, transpiration, and ethylene production continue, causing ripening and deterioration. This leads to water loss, softening color change, and microbial contamination. Poor storage also reduces bioactive compounds, lowering both nutritional value and quality. To prevent quality loss and extend shelf life, fruits and vegetables are traditionally preserved using methods like cold storage, modified atmosphere packaging, ozonation, and blanching. When these methods are not fully effective, UV light technology has emerged as a promising alternative, helping reduce microbial contamination and enhance bioactive compounds. UV light ranges from 100 to 400 nanometer in the electromagnetic spectrum and is divided into three groups, UVA, UVB, and UVC. While UVC is mainly used for microbial inactivation, UVB is notable for stimulating the production of secondary metabolism in plants. At low doses, UVB is perceived by plants as a stress factor, activating biosynthetic pathways such as phenylpropionate metabolism and increasing the production of phenolic compounds. These effects, based on the principle of hormesis, where low-level stress induces beneficial adaptive responses in plants. The aim of this study was to develop an innovative vegetable compartment for household refrigerators to preserve the post-harvest freshness and of fruits, vegetables, and prevent nutrient loss. Currently, the preservation of highly perishable foods products remains a significant challenge, with existing methods primarily relying on chemical treatments or low temperature-based systems. Within the scope of this study, a UVB light system is integrated into the vegetable compartment of a household refrigerators with the objective of enhancing both the food quality and shelf life. This design offers an innovative solution that addresses the expectations of both the industry and consumers, enabling fresh produce to remain viable for longer periods under domestic storage conditions. Furthermore, the study aims to provide an alternative approach to conventional vegetable storage systems in refrigerators. In this study, cherry tomatoes were used as the raw material to ensure consistency in the experiments. Only uniform, undamaged fruits with similar color were selected from a local market. Storage conditions, control samples were stored in the refrigerator vegetable compartment at 4 degrees Celsius with constant humidity for 15 days. For the UVB treatment, a lamp with wavelength of 295 to 325 nanometers and a radiant flux of 10 to 25 nanowatts was installed in the compartment. Samples were kept under the same temperature and humidity conditions, and UVB light was applied for 3, 6, or 10 minutes per hour each day, while the UVB dose was kept constant, varying the exposure duration allowed assessment of its effects on the produce. The samples were analyzed for moisture content, weight loss, color properties, total phenolic content, antioxidant activity, and texture. Statistical analysis was performed to evaluate the significance of the results. The effects of UVB light on cherry tomatoes vary depending on exposure duration. UVB treatments of 3 and 6 minutes help maintain moisture content by limiting water and weight loss during storage, thereby contributing to the preservation of freshness. In contrast, a 10-minute UVB exposure accelerates water and weight loss, particularly during the early stage of storage. This response is associated with increased membrane permeability caused by prolonged UVB exposure, which leads to greater moisture loss and reduced overall product quality. Short-term UVB treatments enhance the accumulation of phenolic compounds and increase antioxidant capacity. This improvement is attributed to the activation of plant defense mechanisms triggered by UVB as a stress signal. However, a 10 minutes exposure results in decreased phenolic accumulation and a reduction in antioxidant capacity due to structural and cellular damage induced by excessive UVB. In terms of texture, short-term UVB exposure supports cell structure and contributes to improve tissue firmness and resilience. Conversely, prolonged exposure causes structural deterioration of cell walls and compromises membrane integrity. These changes lead to tissue hardening and a decline in overall textural quality. Weight loss were found to be significantly affected by UVB exposure. Short-term UVB treatments of 3 and 6 minutes effectively maintained weight, while 10 minutes exposure accelerated water and weight loss, especially during early storage. Total phenolic content significantly increased under 3 and 6 minutes UVB treatment, whereas the increase was reduced at 10 minutes. Storage day and group factors also had significant effects. Antioxidant activity significantly rose with 3 and 6 minute UVB applications, but decreased after 10 minutes. Fruit firmness was preserved under short-term UVB treatments, while a decline was observed at 10 minutes. The appearance of cherry tomatoes after 15 days of storage varied with UVB duration and the control group. 3 and 6 minute UVB treatments preserved freshness and texture, while 10 minutes exposure caused slight shriveling and softening of the surface. The control group showed moderate quality loss. The 3-minute UVB treatment effectively preserved the redness and color stability of the cherry tomatoes, while the 6-minute treatment optimally maintained lightness and color saturation. In contrast, the 10-minute exposure caused pigment degradation and significant color deterioration. In summary, short and medium duration UVB applications maintained visual quality, whereas prolonged UVB exposure adversely affected the fruit color attributes. Analysis of variance was conducted to examine the effects of storage duration UVB treatment duration and group on the color properties of cherry tomatoes, and the results are presented in table 3. The results show that UVB treatment had a significant effect on all color parameters except who specifically the other color parameters values were significantly influenced by both UVB duration and storage time, indicating that UVB can enhance the lightness, redness, yellowness, color saturation, and overall color stability of cherry tomatoes. No significant change was observed in the hue value, suggesting that the basic color tone remained unchanged, while lightness and color intensity were affected. These findings are consistent with previous studies reporting that controlled UVB applications can improve pigment stability and visual quality. The results demonstrated that UVB light treatment elicited both positive and negative effects on cherry tomatoes depending on the exposure duration. Short-term UVB exposure enhanced phenolic content and antioxidant capacity, supporting the biofunctional properties of the fruits, while maintaining color stability and redness. However, its effect on tissue firmness was limited. Medium-term UVB exposure minimized weight loss and improved color parameters, providing a balanced enhancement of both physical and chemical quality. Long-term UVB exposure reduced phenolic content and antioxidant capacity, leading to deterioration in color quality. Nevertheless, the highest cutting force was observed in this group, suggesting that prolonged UVB treatment by strengthened cell wall structure and improved tissue stability. Overall, the 6-minute UVB application was identified as the optimal treatment, effectively preserving fruit quality during storage and supporting commercial acceptability. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. It was a really nice, and as I see, it's a really big research and presentation. Is there any question from the audience? Nobody. In this case, I have only one question. How many days can we gain if we use this kind of refrigerator? So how many days longer the shelf life of the tomato product? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days?
15 days?
No, so how many days longer than normally if we not use the UVB treatment in the refrigerator?
I'm excited for the presentation. Happy to discuss its break time.
Okay, later on we will discuss. Okay. Maybe it's not easy to answer because one thing is that the color is better or the weight loss is better, but sometimes some chilling injury can happen or something else. So thank you very much for your nice presentation. And in the coffee break, we will discuss about this topic. And now, as I mentioned, I have a good news. Peter Palotas is here. And I would like to ask a few minutes from you till we upload the presentation file. And after that, Peter will show us something about the innovation in the fish market.
Azért nem menj el. Hogy kell ezt megint osos, oké. Nagyon jó, hogy ez ki. Ez nem lesz jó, valaki kizárt a fiókon. Nem tudom, mi a baja. Folytatás e-mail címe. Egyik csinálják ezzel.
A drive-ról?
Nem, itt lesz. Itt egyszer, mindjárt megnyitom.
We have some technical problems, but another good news, Safa Labidis also arrived. So the next presenter will be Safa.
Oké, ez nem tudom mi. Oké. Szerintem kitelt el.
Most jónak kéne lennie. Néha csatlakozik az ő gépére is. És most indíts, ha ráengedsz még egyszer.
Azt hogy kell elindítani, mármint hogy érted?
Szerintem zárd be.
Nem, be.
És akkor indítsd el újra, mert néha az ő gépével is ott csatlakozik. Hát remélhetőleg most fölismeri. Most jónak kéne lennie, ha minden igaz. Mindjárt itt van az infós.
Ez van egy point.
Nem röpítélje? Nem.
Melyik volt az?
Igen, és ennek teljes képernyőn kéne lennie. Hogy kell teljes képernyőt tenni? Még egyszer.
Nem is volt állítva. Jó.
Na szuper. Csak működik is.
Thank you for your attention. Today I will show you how we extended the shelf life of fresh seafood products with gentle non-thermal preservative technologies while keeping natural color, flavor, and texture fully intact. My name is Peter Palotás. I'm from this university, from the refrigerator and animal products department. And in the same time, I'm the CEO of the fish market company, which is the market leader seafood importer in Hungary. While my presentation, we will begin with the biggest problem, what was our big challenge during our work. Then I will show you the technologies, what we used, the results, and then I will present the shellfish product group. And I promise you I won't be long. I do my presentation as fast as possible. First of all, what was our biggest challenge? You know, everybody knows that freshwater fish spoil much faster than the marine species. Our biggest problem is in Hungary, we don't have any sea, and the biggest product of our aquaculture is the common carp, which comes from freshwater. And the shelf life of a fresh common carp from freshwater is even on ice, not longer than 3, 4, maximum 5 days. But if we take a look on the supermarket chains and the logistic chain, 3, 4, 5 days shelf life is absolutely not enough to send the product to the market. So there was a huge problem for the Hungarian freshwater fish producers how to make products for the 21st century market demands. So that's why we checked the market. We made some market research, and we recognized that you have to know in Hungary, fish consumption is relatively low compared with the European Union. The fish consumption in Hungary is only 6 kilos per head per year. And we checked what's the reason of this low fish consumption. And the result was the main problem of the people. They don't know how to prepare the seafood or fish raw materials. And of course, in the same time, they are afraid of the bones. They don't like the smell in the fridge. They don't like the smell in the kitchen. So we realized we have two main group of consumers, the foodies who really like to prepare themselves the food. And there is a much bigger group, those people who like the fish, but don't have time, don't know how to prepare it. So the consequence was we have to develop a product during the production. We don't have to use, we should not use any preservative materials, no additives. We have to use some kind of gentle technologies just to have a result close to the most natural raw material. So what kind of techniques we have used? The first solution and idea was the electrolyzed active water. It's quite simple and cheap. We use simply salted water, electrolysis with a membrane, and then the result, we separate the result and we use for the disinfection the electrolyzed oxidizing water, which has quite effective effect on microbial reduction without altering the fillet quality. During our tests, we combined the electrolyzed active water with lysozyme enzyme, with lactic acid, and we have not used any other additives during the tests. There was also another solution in our head, the high hydrostatic pressure, which is also a non-thermal solution. to reduce dramatically the microbes survive and contamination in the foods. During our test, we also combined the high hydrostatic pressure treatment with the electrolyzed active water, the lysozyme treatment, or lactic acid treatment. To have a final product, we have to pack the product, of course. To have final product, we tried two kind of packing solutions, the MIP products packaging and the skin packaging. Both technologies has benefits, but for example, if you would like to produce a product treated by high hydrostatic pressure, you are not able to use the MIP packaging. But at the end of my presentation, I will show you the Selfish product line, and you will see what kind of products were the results. So I would like to mark the red numbers, and that was our main problem if we tried to make product from common carb. The microbiological level immediately after harvest is really high. If you keep fresh carb on ice, in 2 or 3 days, the microbiological level reach that level which is already over the limits. You can see on the table that all kind of combination of electrolyzed active water and enzymes or lactic acid had some strong effect reducing the microbiological level and was able to enlarge the use-by date of the products. As you can see, without any treatment, the raw carb reach the microbiological limit almost at the first or second day of the storage. But the treated products with all kind of combination of EA water were able to kept until 7 days, more or less, let's say 6 and 8 days in different kind of packaging. You can see as well that if you use tap water during the process, it also reduces the level of the microbes, but afterwards the spoilage starts to grow quite fast. With the high hydrostatic pressure treatment, we reached a real good results. If you can see, we use different kind of pressure level between 300 and 400 megapascal. The product which were treated by this high hydrostatic pressure were able to keep until 21 days in refrigerated temperature. But there is a big question. And what is this big question regarding the high hydrostatic pressure? The problem with the HHP treatment is that those kind of products which contains more myoglobin during the treatment, these products change their color. And this color you can see simply with your eyes. The customer will see a completely different product what he expected. So according to our tests, those products which has a high myoglobin contents, for those products you can't use high hydrostatic pressure treatment. For example, like the red meat tuna is absolutely not a solution to use for red meat tuna. With the white meat seafood products, the difference was only a slight change. So for white meat, fish products like cod or tilapia, you can use, or pangasius, you can use really easily the high hydrostatic pressure. And if you are a producer of shellfish products like shrimp or squid or octopus, with this kind of products, there simply were no change in the sensory details. So the color has not changed either. So here we are. These are some of the shellfish products group, which were a completely new category in the seafood industry. On the right upper side, you can see high hydrostatic pressure treated shrimp product and salmon product. You can see at the salmon, there is a lightly changed color. So it's still a question, can you use it or not? And on the bottom, you can see products which were treated with simply with electrolyzed active water during the process. I didn't have any picture about carp product, but in the shellfish product chain, we do have also skin-packed fresh carp with 8 or 9 days shelf life, which was really a big possibility for Hungarian aquaculture carp farmers to let their product introduce into the market. And this is how science meets with technology, and the result is a fish product, seafood product without hassle. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. And is there any question from the audience? If not, I have only one question, or maybe two. Have you ever tried UVB light treatment or ozone treatment?
Yes, we tried the UVB treatment, but the problem is the mucin. You know, mucinous glycoprotein on the surface of the fish, because it has also a kind of protecting effect. So we had no good results with the UVB treatments on fresh seafood products.
And did you use it alone or combined with electrolyzed water?
No, only alone, not combined it.
Not combined it. Okay, maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future,
okay.
There are many possibilities, yes.
Thank you very much, Peter. And
that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If no more questions from the audience, thank you. And I would like to ask Safa Labidi, yes, from University of Debrecen, to have the presentation. Also a few moments necessary to upload the file. And I have a question for the other presenter from Debrecen University. Is he or she here or not?
The other student?
Yes.
No,
Duyan Noyan? She is not. Okay. In this case, maybe we will finish this session a little bit earlier.
You can use the point
Thank
if you want.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and greeting for everyone. So I'm Labidi Safa, and I'm a PhD student from the University of Debrecen. And today I'm going to present my latest research about the temperature-depending pyrolysis and characterization of carbon nanodots from urea and citric acid. So in this presentation, I'm going to start with the background of carbon nanodots, then going into the methodology and the results of the measurement of the characterization of carbon nanodots, and finally some application in food and agriculture industry. So starting with the background and the introduction, the carbon nanodots have gained significant attention over the past decade due to their unique feature. So initially it was detected accidentally by Xu et al. During the purification of single-walled carbon nanodots using electrophoretic purification. Then it was intentionally producing by Sun et al. Via laser ablation, and from then it has gained scientific significance and because of their properties, fluorescence, low cytotoxicity, antimicrobial property, and biocompatibility. So as application, it can be in bioimaging, sensing, catalysis, and drug delivery. So here we can see the different type of carbon nanodots and our formation model by our team. So we can see the main type of carbon-based nanomaterial. These material all come from carbon, but their structure are very different, which gives each type unique properties. So at the top and the down, we have the single-walled carbon nanotubes and multi-walled nanotubes, which are strong conductive tube, and it can be used in electronics and sensor and composite material. Next, we have the fullerenes. They are spherical molecules and which are horn-shaped cluster used in catalysis and energy devices. Then we also have the nanographite and nanodiamond, which are more crystalline carbon forms with high stability. Then we have also the carbon nanodots or carbon quantum dots, the smallest of these, and usually under 10 nanometer. And they are, as I said, known for their strong fluorescence and excellent biocompatibility. And finally, we have the black carbon nanoparticle, represent amorphous carbon with large surface area. And and this is the different type of carbon-based nanomaterial that we mentioned in our review. And the other figure is our model of formation of the CND that has a black carbon nanoparticle. It represents the amorphous carbon with large surface area, and in the surface there are the network from the urea contributes nitrogen-containing polymeric surface chains. And as we can see here, the red spheres represent surface functional groups, which are crucial for the CND chemical reactivity and optical properties. And the UV mentioned here in the figure shown and highlights the strong photoluminescence that makes the carbon nanodots. So these are the main synthesis method. They are two different synthesis methods, bottom-up and top-down method. So the difference that the top-down involve breaking down large carbon structure into nanoscale dots like the bulk carbon, and there are some modification, and we have the carbon nanodots. It can be using laser ablation Yeah, and second, the bottom-up method that using a smaller molecule precursor, we can form or produce the carbon nanodots, and it can be used by hydrothermal synthesis. It is the widely used method where organic precursors are heated in water under pressure. And the second figure, it represents the different application of the carbon nanodots. It can be because of the optical, it's the characterization of the carbon nanodots. So because of the optical properties, we can characterize the carbon nanodots using UVV spectrometer or photo spectrometer. For the morphology and structure, we can use the FTIR for the surface chemistry. Also, we can use the infrared and the spectrophotometer. And for the surface charge and colloidal stability, we can use the scanning method. So this is our experimental design, starting with fixed molar ratio of citric acid and urea 1:4, and doing heating pyrolysis method in oven at 8 different temperature from 110 degrees Celsius to 180. Then after the product will be dissolved in ultra pure water and filtered. Then for conservation, for next characterization, we freeze dry it at 40 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. So, and then to characterize the product that we have, we use the measurement of the fluorescence spectrophotometer, the HPLC with the size exclusion column, the FTIR, and the elemental content, carbon and nitrogen, and pH analysis also for conductivity. So here we can see as a result the mass loss behavior of the sample is not high, approximately 1.92 gram at low temperature, 110 degrees Celsius and 120 also, indicating that only partial dehydration and condensation of citric acid and urea takes place and results in the formation of early polymeric intermediates. When we increase the temperature at 140 and 160 degrees Celsius, a stronger loss is seen. And it's a cause of a higher degree of polymerization and the beginning of carbonization reaction. Then we can see the elemental analysis results show that the carbon content in the synthesized carbon nanodots increases from 14% for 110 degrees Celsius sample to 16 for 180 degrees Celsius sample, whereas the nitrogen content remains relatively stable at 38 to 41%. So the CN ratio, the carbon-nitrogen ratio, increases from 0.3 to 0.4 with increasing synthesis temperature time, indicating the progressive carbonization of the citric acid and urea precursor system. So these analyses can give us an idea about the method and the progress of the pyrolysis. Then we have the thermal effects on acidic functional groups, and we use the pH measurement and the FTIR correlation. So as we can see here, the pH results are approximately to neutral, and they show two stages of thermal behavior. At intermediate temperature, 110 to 150, the pH decreases because acidic functional groups, mainly COOH, became ionized or are newly formed through partial hydrolysis. This is confirmed by FTIR through the strengthening of OH bands and the appearance of the COO related peaks in the 1550 and 1400 centimeter wave number. So at high temperature, from 160 to 180 degrees Celsius, the pH begins to rise again, which corresponds to the weakening of CO bands in the FTR spectra. This indicates thermal degradation or loss of these acidic groups. So overall, the combined pH FTR pattern suggests initial formation, ionization of acidic groups, followed by their decomposition at high temperatures. Then, as we can see here, the urea and citric acid fluorescence measurement. So as the synthesis temperature increased, the emission progressively became broader and shifted to longer wavelength up to 520 to 550 nanometer at 180 degrees Celsius. As we can see here, the spectra of the fluorescence shifted from the from 380 nanometer emission wavelength to 520 emission wavelength, which is a symptom of longer P conjugation and creation of oxygen and nitrogen related surface defect state. As we suggest in the model, in the surface, the nitrogen doped functional groups. The redshifting emission is supported by the conversion of molecular fluorophore to core containing carbon domain. And here the HPLC analyzes. So as we can see here, with the temperature set to 110 degrees Celsius, the chromatogram show a near flat baseline with a small broad feature prompting a conclusion that the precursor do not condense much at this mild condition. At temperature above 120, a weak but prominent peak is formed at around 6.5 minutes with a small shoulder at about 5.5 minutes. These indications are related to the appearance of the primary fluorescent species and developed carbon nanodots. So at 140 degrees Celsius, there is a strong initial peak at between 5 to 7 minutes and a smaller one around 15 to 18 minutes, indicating the presence of higher and lower molecular weight fraction. When the synthesis temperature increases till 180 degrees Celsius, the early eluting peak will dominate and sharpener as the later eluting peaks will reduce significantly in intensity. So that means that the less molecular weight molecules remain at the temperature of 180. So finally, some application of carbon nanodots in the food industry and a conclusion for the research. So as we can see here, the application, it can be monitoring nutrient like traceability of the food using the carbon nanodots biosensors. It can be detecting contaminant. Also, it can enhance the food packaging by active packaging. Using the carbon nanodots, it can help the antimicrobial property of the food, and also detecting the food-borne pathogens. So the research work demonstrates how tunable synthesis condition can produce carbon nanodots with tailored optical properties for different targeted application. So as as I said, their properties as strong photoluminescence, high biocompatibility, low toxicity, and tunable surface properties, making them useful in sensing, imaging energy and environmental application. And about this experiment, what I can say, the high temperature carbon nanodots, which exhibited a green fluorescence with a red shifted emission around 520 nanometer, are valuable for application needing deeper optical penetration or wavelength specific detection. So what we see as a red shifting in the fluorescence is good for this application as bioimaging and optoelectronic devices. And thank you so much for your attention. Feel free to ask any question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your nice presentation. It was a really huge work, as I see. And I would like to ask the audience, is there any question? If not, I have only one. Should we be afraid about the carbon dots or not?
About the
consuming this kind of high temperature product?
It needs to have toxicity measurement for future plans. I think it needs to, but there are different type of. There are some that can be maybe a little bit not safe because of the caramelization method. But here, this method with the urea and citric acid, it seems that doesn't show the caramelization. So we don't have intermediate product that can be toxic.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm start to afraid what will I eat today afternoon in the gala dinner. So,
yeah.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And I would like to ask the last presenter, Tibor Hollósi from Kometa ZRT. The title of the presentation, Introduction to Honest Food System and Adaptation Status. Tibor, the floor is yours.
Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone. First of all, thank you for the invitation for Mate University. I introduce myself shortly. My name is Tibor Hollósi, and I am an Agriculture Development Director and the Deputy Managing Director of Kometa 99 ZRT. Kometa, this is a meat company in Hungary. We slaughter approximately 600,000 pigs yearly, and we process all the products. Our annual revenue, approximately 240 million euro, was in last year, of which exports accounted approximately 45%. We sell more than 40 countries worldwide. We have more than 1,000 employees. In today, my presentation, I would like to introduce you to the honest food concept and the association. The birth of honest food, this is inspiration for honest food, came from Mr. Giacomo Pedronzini, who is the owner of Kometa, and at the same time, the president of the Honest Food Association, who said these words: let's make the world better, place with the kindness and integrity. And the other quote that he used of Hippocrates: let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. I repeat this because it's important. Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. This slogan we use in the harness food system as well. So regarding the health, we distinguish between the following levels of dimension of health: environment, economic, and physical. Regarding the environment health, unfortunately, last 10 years, extreme weather conditions are becoming increasingly severe worldwide, such as, for example, in Italy, influenza happened 3 floods within 16 months. In Borneo, where the Pedanzini family comes from, there are abundant sloping mountain areas taken out of cultivation. Economic health, what does it mean? If we want an economically healthy society and a prosperous country, in this case, then everyone must receive their fair share. That means from the revenue, everybody has to get the correct revenue, correct share. If not, it cannot be sustainable. Physical health. This equals good quality of life. This means healthy good and healthy lifestyle. According to the latest data from the World Health Organization, almost 40% of the children in age 8 in Italy are overweight or obese. If you consider globally, approximately 43% of the adult population will be overweight and 16% adults will be obese. So on 22nd May 2024, we established the Harness Food Association with 14 founding members. Members include Mate University, feed producers, for example, as UBM, pig farmers, vegetable growers, and the TATE platform. This is nutrition, lifestyle, and physical activity platform. And the list Slaughterhouse as Cometa. The Harness Food is an autonomous, independent, non-profit association, and anyone can join this association. Last year, we conducted market research among the consumer in Hungary to find out how they assess the distribution of the added value along the supply chain. I would present you the two important questions. The first one was, in your opinion, which participant creates the greatest social value in the food production process? 82% of the people who answered said that producer, 14% processor, and only 4% retailer. We asked in this market research more than 1,000 people. The second question, who do you think deserves the biggest share of the money you pay for the product? 70% of the people answered producers, 14% processor, and only 7% of retailer. This kind of research market we made 1 year before in Italy as well, and the result was very, very similar. What is Harness Food? Harness Food is initiating a rethink of the current food supply chain. It seeks to strike a new balance between the conventional and the organic farming, striving to create a greater equity and transparency and to ensure affordable products throughout the entire supply chain. Two or most important goals from a social level and from a supply chain perspective. From a social perspective, the goal to offer consumers delicious, healthy, and affordable food. I think this is more important for the consumer. From a supply chain perspective, ensuring a fairer distribution of added value among participants in the production chain. That means the farmer, processing company, and the retailer. All these participants has to get correct share. After this, what should be the next step? We have selected 10 meat products and 3 dairy products whose added value we wish to examine with the involvement of MATE. Which kind of product? Meat product, for example, pork leg, pork shoulder, boneless, pork loin, pork belly, and PP products, processed product, Italian cold cuts, lecho sausage, Frankfurter Würstel, and cheese Parigi. And the dairy products, boxed milk, Tropista cheese, and the sour cream. So we want to examine how the added value of these products is distributed along the supply chain. In Italy, this year, already we created, established in Italy, the Hannes Food Italy Association. And this association has included extra virgin olive oil on its added value monitoring system. The final result should be to 2025 in 2026 January. So Hungary, we can say the land of the paradise and the promise for agriculture. Why do I say this? It is enough to just look at the soil condition, soil quality, drinking water condition, and geographical location of Hungary. I think this is a very, very important, and Hungary can be a very good land for the agriculture production. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And the same question for the audience. Is there any comments or questions? If not, I will be ask something. What do you think, how can you change the trends which was shown that the people think that the farmers has the biggest income and the retailers has the lowest income in the product? What do you think, how can you change? Because the reality, so be true this this results of your research, because the reality is opposite, as I think.
Yes, first of all, we have
Please
to
use the other one.
First of all, we have to bring out that transparency, the data, that what is the reality. And after, if we know what is the reality, we have to react. And first of all, we have to educate the consumer. And at the second level, we have to fight with the participant of the market to have a correct share of the revenue, every participant.
It's a good news, and we can join to this project. I hope it will happen, and I hope the consumer will more focus on this question, because it's a key question today and in the future, I think, as well. So thank you very much for your presentation.
Not be easy, but we have to do it.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And today, this was the last presentation. And I would like to say something about the future plans for today. Now it will start the poster session opposite with me in the second floor, that club room. And after that, from 7 o'clock, there will be a networking in the building A. Building A is behind us, so if you would like to reach that room, you have to go straight that direction, and the end of the building you have to turn right. There will be the building A, and one floor up, so in the first floor you will find the room A1. And from 8 o'clock will be the gala dinner, and as I know, the gala dinner will be here. So this is why we have to leave this room, because there will be some changing in the furniture, some table will come, and we hope the dinner also will arrive. So thank you very much for your attention, kind attention, and I hope you enjoy the today afternoon session and the whole conference. Let's say join us tomorrow again here in this room, and thank you for joining this conference and come from different parts of the world. Please welcome and have a nice event, and have a nice evening for today and tomorrow, and I hope you will enjoy the stay in Budapest and Hungary. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Goodbye.